And a bill limiting economic development funding in Scott County is out of an Iowa House subcommittee. Maddie Fran shows us what the bill is intended to do and what the county board chair says could happen instead.
A bill proposed in the Iowa House would put a 3-year moratorium on economic development funding for the state's 4 most populous counties. That includes Polk, Linn, Scott, and Johnson counties. In fiscal year 2024, Scott receives the least of the 4 at more than $790,000.
It affects everything.
That money helps bring jobs to the county. Manufacturers like Kraft Heinz and Sterilite received loans and tax benefits from the Iowa Economic Development Authority.
I see a lot of money come because of the development. That's homes, that's sales tax. People go out and buy at restaurants and everything else.
John Maxwell is chair of the Scott County Board of Supervisors. He says a moratorium wouldn't just hurt the affected counties, but the entire state.
We're not about shutting down the economic 4 counties that drive more than 40% of our GDP, our sales tax.
He says the bill is intended to send that kind of development to rural Iowa, but that's not what he thinks will happen.
They go to Illinois, Missouri, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, South Dakota.
Economic development funding doesn't just attract businesses. It also offers grants for cultural projects. Davenport received $9.6 million in 2022 to upgrade lighting here at the Figge Art Museum, renovate lights at the Sky Bridge, and expand the scope of Main Street Landing. That project is scheduled to break ground in 2 weeks. While the bill made it out of subcommittee, it's far from a done deal. Maxwell says he'd rather see a solution that works for every county.
Greater minds will prevail before this is over.
In Davenport, Maddie Franz, WQAD News 8.
In a statement, the Quad Cities Chamber says it's registered against the bill. It says in part the bill would be detrimental to ongoing and successful economic development efforts in the Quad Cities. Now, News 8 also reached out to State Representative Derek Wolf, who voted in favor of the bill in subcommittee. We're still waiting to hear back.